There's a fight that just snuck up on us. I was paying so much attention to the pay-per-view, and I feel you guys were doing the same thing. We're only days away. RDA is going to take on Chimaev. Now, instantly when I saw that, I was very excited, but I did ask myself a question, which is, has Chimaev left 155 pounds? RDA's been floating. RDA's been 70, 55, 70, 55. This has been going on for years. But did Chimaev leave the weight class? Because RDA kind of looked like he was settled in. Now, let me bring that to your attention, because they are going down to 155, but there are title implications here. And don't make a mistake that this is the number one contenders match. But boy, I bet you it's one way. I really do. Imagine this scenario, right? You've only got two scenarios. Chimaev wins, RDA wins. Let's look at RDA real fast. If RDA wins, he's going to be calling for world title shots. That's where he sees himself, and as a former champion, still a current main eventer, you could see where he'd always put himself there, right? Being self-aware is always difficult. But I'll meet you part way, RDA. He would only be one away. So now the question is, who would that one be with? And that, I think, is where we start to have a real good time. Because if I tell you RDA is going to be fighting Michael Chandler, you love it. If I tell you RDA is going to be standing across from Justin Gaethje, you love it. RDA versus Islam, I don't know anybody that's tried to find their way to each other harder over the last 3 years. Are you guys even aware of that? Like, they did it somewhat quiet, but they were willing to tell anybody that would listen. Islam Makhachev had a really hard time getting the message out. That's going to stay true all the way up until he gets the world title. But he has had a message over the years. He even went down to the grappling rinks, and I can insert myself in this with Submission Underground. I get called by both guys. They want to come do it. In fact, Khabib sweetened the pot and said, Chael, I will come out and I will corner Islam Makhachev. And for a grappling event, that's a big deal. Now we got Khabib. Now I'm greatly incentivized. RDA was in. I can't remember what got in the way of that. It was some kind of a visa issue, and one of them ended up getting booted out of the country. I'm only trying to share for you. Islam and RDA got some kind of heat. And even that personalized story that I just told you, I was never told what it was. I don't know what that backs up to. I don't know where these two guys got it wrong, but they did. And they both believe they were in the right. They both believe the other one is in the wrong, and they want to fight. And what I'm attempting to do for you right now is to tell you, enjoy Chimaev versus RDA. Enjoy it. But the storylines coming out of it still put you one away. But that one away happens to be at a time that's a very glorious time. I mean, you could start sliding down the ladder. You could start bringing in the Fergusons, taking on RDA. If you take a look at 155 pounds right now, Dustin Poirier versus RDA, right? I mean, am I proving my point? And a lot of times what those top 55 pounders have done historically is they take their ball. They get up in the loft, they pull the rope up behind them so nobody else can crawl up there. But they're going to need opponents at some point. Nobody ever calls out RDA. It's not just a respect issue. They see the skill. It's not just a respect and a skill issue. They're not sure that RDA draw enough attention. That's true. He's one of those guys. That's true. But he'll step in there and he'll fight with anybody. And he's going to need one more match to get to his title fight. We can't keep him down forever. We can't pull him back forever. Guy's been here, does some heavy lifting, takes on anybody anytime he's asked to. I'd like to see RDA get a little bit out in front of it. He's going to be calling for championship fights. I'm just predicting for you now. But I wish he would. I wish he would call for a number one contenders fight, because that he could get. When I remind you that Benny Darush has a dance card that's open, all of a sudden you start to see where RDA is in a very fun spot. And as close as RDA gets, and he does do some real heavy lifting, he does it at 2 different weight classes, as close as he gets, post-championship run, he stubbed his toe. Right in those big masterful moments, it's just not enough. I think he can go out and find it. Chimaev's a very hard matchup. You want to do an X's and O's and break that down, that's tough. I'm focused on RDA for one reason, because I do believe that a win here will not qualify him for the title fight that he's after, but I do think it qualifies him for a number one contenders match. And if he can agree on that too, and he could call out that opponent, I think he's likely to get it.